All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of 11 Mile Sessions Live. I am your host, Scott Boatwright. I'm here just for the beer and to witness what we're going to see and hear for the rest of the hour. So we have the pleasure for the first time to have the one, the only Beatbox Jake. And actually, there is only one Beatbox Jake. And we're going to talk a little bit in between some jamming and beatboxing and all that other stuff. But mostly it's going to be you witnessing him playing live for the next hour if you're watching right now on, what is it, June 5th, and it's Thursday, 7 o'clock. If you miss it, don't worry about it. By the end of the evening, you can stream it everywhere. Fire Roku. Yeah, see, this is where I screw up. Roku TV. On the internet, you can check out whether it's visual or audio, both Apple, Spotify, Pandora. I forget even some of them. It's like 36 different ways. But yeah, we're just gonna sit back. I'm gonna shut up. In fact, they're gonna make me go to my room because I talk too much. But without further ado, this is going to be Beatbox Jake for the next hour, and I'm going to try to sit back and enjoy it just like you. All right. Are you ready, Jacob?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Ready?
Whenever you're ready.
Let's speed that up a bit.
What was that you were doing again, Jacob?
What?
You don't mind if I call you by your real name
No,
instead of
no, do whatever you want.
No,
works.
okay. Now you've stroked my ego. I'm going to get this swelled head.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
boy.
So, yeah. I think we already understand each other. I know where you're coming from, but briefly explain how Beatbox Jake began. What was your goal? This is what I do. I mean, just in very short time.
Well, when I was 9, that's when I started playing guitar. I started playing on an acoustic guitar at the time. And then, as time progressed, I started figuring out more and more of what I wanted out of the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
It started off with me kind of trying to, first off, figure out how the thing worked. And then, 'cause,
Oh, you didn't start playing like that when you were 9?
no, man, I was doing this in the womb. What are you talking about? No,
I believe you. That's the only way you could play like that.
yeah, no, I started off on an acoustic guitar looking at the thing, not knowing what anything about it was. I didn't know how to do anything. And then I started trying to like figure out like, oh, if I push here, it does this. If I do this, it does this. That was kind of how I learned.
Mhm.
And then I started trying to figure out like Johnny Cash riffs and like the Big River riff.
Oh, nice.
That one. Later, I found Nirvana, and I didn't realize how useful. Like, I didn't know what a power chord was, but I found out what one was.
There you go.
And then I was like, oh, you could write. Like, that's all I needed for a while.
Mhm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
I heard Slayer for the first time, and I was like,
Was that
what is
Season of the
that?
Abyss?
I heard Raining Blood for the first time. It was the live version of it
Uh-huh.
from their Still Raining DVD. Where they actually had
Yes.
red water coming down on the stage. I'd never heard shrieky, eerie guitars noise like that.
Mhm.
I'd never heard scary music played on a guitar.
Mhm.
I'd never heard drums like that. I'd never heard anything like it before.
Yep.
I'm like, Mom and Dad, where's this in your CD collection that I just raided because you guys got me an iPod? So I remember iPods, kids. So it's weird that I'm saying, you remember these things that were brand new when I was a kid? I don't know. So,
Well, but you were
Yeah.
around back then for all that, weren't you?
well, no. But I was hearing, of course, Slayer doing all the like. Like all that stuff, and the shredding was very like all that chaotic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, how does that work? And and I was like, I need to be able to do that. I don't know. That's wild. I'd never heard it before because I was used to like the Statler Brothers, Stray Cats. The heaviest thing at the time I knew of was Nirvana.
Okay.
So
So this is because you were there when it happened and you listened to it, right?
no, I wasn't alive. I was born in '96. So yeah, but as time went on, as much of a fan of like crazy chaotic metal as I am, I knew that
Black
playing
metal,
like that,
death metal.
all of it, black metal. You mentioned black metal. Like all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm, that stuff kind of scares me, but I'm still a fan anyway.
Norwegian of either one of
Yep,
them?
Norway.
Mm.
But I knew that playing all that crazy stuff all the time wasn't necessarily going to connect with just anybody I play in front of, and that frustrated me. And then I found out who Joe Satriani was and realized I could keep the shred and
Keep the shred
also,
alive.
learn music theory and be able to convey different tonalities and emotions and still show off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And, you impress everybody you play in front of, don't you?
apparently. I've been told that. I don't believe it.
All right. That explains a lot. I appreciate that. So however you want to go, 10, 15, 5, just it's yours.
Oh, you want me to play another one?
Whenever you're ready, sir.
Welcome to VH1 Storytellers. This next one is
Sorry.
called Vibin'. The song I just played is called Dream Shift. These are both off of Dichotomy, my album that just came out in January.
All right. So we'll talk briefly. You mentioned before you started dichotomy. Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's called Dichotomy.
Dichotomy. See, and all right. Continue.
Same idea.
Yeah.
But
Different
yeah,
language.
no, that album came out. That was me kind of trying to figure out how to take my two skills of beatboxing and guitar, which are very different from each other. They come from different worlds, pretty much, and learn like how do I make these live inside me as a performer, as a musician, and all that. And that album was a sort of an exploration of how I can do that.
Okay. So how long ago? I mean, when you actually released it, not. In other words, like when you first put it out there for anybody to listen to it besides yourself or your family or friends.
How long ago was it?
Yeah, that release.
Oh, that was January 5th of this year, I think.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to get an idea because I know you didn't come out of nowhere. It could have been this year. It could have been 2 years ago. Sometimes bands, or performers, they're great, but they have, full families, their husbands, fathers, brothers, and uncles at the same time, and they actually have day jobs. And even if they are, have your talent and whatever, it's like, yeah, we finished, recording that a year and a half ago, but it took us that long to not only be able to release it, but to promote it at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, apart from, because I'm still promoting that, still telling people about it.
Yeah.
And I'm of course still playing these songs. I have new ones I've written too. I'll play some today, but
Sure. You're welcome
other
to
than
do that. I mean,
yeah, thank you. But last year in October, I released an EP called Violent Tendencies, and it's like a horror. It's all instrumental as well. All my stuff is, but it was an exploration of this horror topic of like, what if you lost control and just killed somebody? Like, how do you deal with that mentally? Like,
now you're talking about me. You got to leave the studio.
no, this is not a confession, everybody. He's not confessing to anything. This is not real.
Yeah. But everything else, drugs, alcohol,
Sure. I don't know your past. I don't know any of that.
Yeah. All right. You promise not to say anything. You're done.
All right. I'm out. See ya.
All right. So what do you have next?
Yeah, I'll do. You know what? I'll play a newer one next. This song is called Solar Flare.
Nice. Okay, so we talked about a couple of your releases. Where can we find those? I mean, no matter where it is, tell us real quick.
So both of those, actually, I still need to get Violent Tendencies back up on Spotify, but it is on every other platform, and then Dichotomy is also on every platform as well currently.
So that's all the usual gang of idiots: Apple, Spotify, Pandora.
Yep. Spotify, Pandora, Apple. You can use it for videos on Instagram and on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. Snapchat. Apparently Roblox. If you do stuff in the game Roblox, you can use it there.
See, now that is one I definitely never heard of, but I think all of them, the rest of them.
I heard somebody in the studio next door go, "What?" Yeah. It was my distributor. It's on their list of things that it goes to, and I was like, "Why?" I don't know anything about Roblox. I don't play it. I've never played it. So
That's those things you put on 696 when you want people to go around the construction.
you know what? I'm not responsible for what you're doing while you're driving. So if you want to play video games while you're driving, I don't want to hear about it. All right?
Yes. All right, so you know where to find Beatbox Jake's music. So why don't we do another one?
Yeah, might as well. You like the blues?
I love the blues.
This song's actually been kind of in video form. I don't have a music video out, but there's a video of me playing this at Beatbox Jake and Friends #2. The song's called Smokin'. This is also on Dichotomy, and it's been getting a lot of traction for whatever reason. So
That's why you can afford to live your life and all the other stuff.
I just bought a second mansion.
Holy crap.
That's not true at all, but I'm going to say
Do
it
you
anyway.
remember you actually kicked me out of the first one?
I think is this the first time we're meeting in person outside of Corktown?
Yeah, the first Corktown, or the first mansion, remember I was the guy that you found in the corner, still, sleeping it off from 2 days before?
Oh, yeah, you were another reminder of why I don't want to do any of that stuff.
Okay.
Just seeing how you were sleepy, man. Like
You promised not to tell. You got to leave the studio now.
I swear to I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm done. I've been censored. This is going to be as boring as
Not as often as I have. All right. I've been instructed by the boss uh, about your choice for your guitar. That's a Squire, I see.
No, this is a Schecter.
A Schecter. Well,
Very different.
see, now I didn't get that, and I'm left-handed. Okay.
Are we sponsored by Schecter? That would be so cool. I love you guys. Can you give me another one of these? I need a backup. Can I get another one of these?
So
But-
now you can afford another mansion.
Schecter, if you're listening to this or if you're watching this is a Schecter Damien Platinum. Get all of this. Damien Platinum 6 FRS left-handed. I need a backup. Please send me one. Email me or contact me on social media. I would love, dude, if you guys sponsor me, I will be so happy. I will sing your praises. Come on. Guys, listen, can you please respond right now? Is Schecter listening?
Actually, they're on the phone right now. Do you want to talk to them?
No. Yes, I would love to, but I know that you're lying.
So now you can kick me out of your second mansion, and you can plan ahead to kick me out of your third one.
These mansions are made out of Legos, by the way. Like, they're not even real.
But I can still fit inside. I'm a little guy. I can fit inside them.
Yeah. They're not real mansions. I don't really have a Lego mansion.
So
Can
they're
anybody tell I'm
McMansion
joking?
or Lego mansions.
Yeah. Everybody that's watching knows I'm joking, right? Please tell me in the comments. There's no comments. This isn't. I'm so lonely. There's no comments.
Wait a minute. Can you translate that from Japanese? Somebody said that in Japan.
Arigato. That's fake Japanese. I don't know Japanese.
Arigato.
Arigato.
That means thank you.
Thanks.
Actually, well, it depends on the person you're saying it to and who you're addressing, by the way. So anyway,
Yeah.
all right, what do you have for us next? Beatbox Jake.
And what I have next for show and tell.
All right. Oh, every time I say show and tell, I get arrested. What's that?
It is. It's properly strung. Oh, I'm sorry.
See,
Our sound person is asking me questions. He's asking me if this is strung like actually for left-handed or if it's upside down like Albert King.
what about Hendrix?
Hendrix played lefty, but he had it strung properly. So Hendrix, a lot of people think that he played upside down. Actually, he had a right-handed strat that he played left-handed, so it was upside down, but it was strung for properly. So the thickest string was on top. If you know anybody named, or if you know somebody named Albert King, I apologize, I'm sleepy.
Albert who?
Albert King. He's a wonderful blues guitarist. He plays flying V's left-handed, but right-handed, and strung right-handed. So he's got an upside-down set of strings, and everything's backwards.
Yeah, you know. And meanwhile, you lost me when you said the first word.
It's okay. I don't remember how to play that one. I'll play another one. Oh, God.
How about Johnny Cash? That's my request. Play Johnny Cash.
I don't have any Johnny Cash.
Do you have any cash at all?
I got a country-esque riff. Yeah, Letterkenny, anybody? Ever seen Letterkenny? All right, this next song is the darkest song on Dichotomy by far, tonally. This is called Malign, and I actually just put a remix out with Biokillers, a rap group that I like, and I also run with in Shattered Dreams Entertainment, which is a collective consisting of me, Beatbox Jake, Biokillers, and Agatha Hag, who are a folk rock band. So, very
Can
diverse.
I kick it out of their mansions too?
They don't have mansions.
Oh.
Agatha Hag lives proudly in a bus. That's not true, but they would.
I'm trying to remember. I think I've been kicked off at least 60 or 70, and that's just last year.
70 buses?
Yeah. I've been kicked out of better buses than this. What are you doing?
What's up with this VW you got here? All right, this is Malign. For anybody watching, the second half of this gets pretty flashy. Oh, I didn't hit record. I'm such an idiot. I'm using a looper, by the way.
Now you're talking about me again. right, you caught me asleep again. So, what am I doing here again?
I don't know. Sleeping to my music.
Yeah. Sleepy. All right, if you don't mind. Oh, wait a minute. You're going to play again, right?
Yeah. I
Ah,
don't-
crap.
You want me to just go into another song, or you got something else? Or should I do some straight beatboxing?
Yes, please do that. Come on.
Okay. We'll take this off. Because why not? All right. Yeah, so this is, for anybody just listening who doesn't have video with this particular broadcast, everything you're going to hear is for right now is coming from my voice and nothing else. And no looper. Sweet dreams are made of this. Whoever my plan to this apple grippy. I travel the world in the seven Pacifics. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to yipples yip. Some of them wanna be yipples by yip. Some of them wanna be people's yip. Some of them want to be a people. Sweet dreams are made up of lips. Went my drive to this up grippy. My travel the world when the spinning Pacifics. Everybody is looking for something, 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 Sweet dreams are made up of liches. When my trying to piss up greedy, I travel the world in the spinning series. Everybody's looking for something. We don't need no education. We don't need no blood and trouble. No dark sarcasm in the classroom. People just leave them. Kids are up, we just leave them. Kids are up, we just leave, we just leave, we just leave, we just leave, we just, we just, we just, we just, we don't need no education. We don't need enough thought and trouble. We don't need enough education. We don't need enough thought and trouble. We don't need enough education. We don't need no. We don't need no. We don't.
All right. So, I actually enjoyed that so much I did lose my train of thought. So, let's see. Pink Floyd, Marilyn Manson, or Annie Lennox, or both?
Annie Lennox. I'm much more. Or is it Annie Lennox?
Annie Lennox.
I can't remember the name.
Sweet dreams
Yeah,
are made
but
of
I don't remember the band name.
Eurythmics.
Eurythmics, yes.
Oh.
Everybody says Marilyn Manson. He did a great version of it,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not the one that I'm pulling from.
Well, you pulled from all three at the same time, and but somebody told me that, and I'd listen long enough, and I'll forget it after I leave tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, this is amazing. This is amazing. We have at least 12 more minutes. Do you want to do 12? Actually, you can do 1, you can do 2. I can sign off right now, and the rest is yours, my friend.
Well, I'm going to do a third category of what I do, actually, which is beatbox metal,
Okay.
which is where I do both at once, both guitar and beatbox, no looping.
Oh, and can you somehow for a second, remember that Satch riff that you liked so much?
Oh, yeah.
Or is that going to be 2 different songs? Or you want to just do it quickly right now?
Well, I don't know how to play the whole song, but
Just that part. Just that part.
And then it goes up and does a bunch of stuff. I love it. He's my favorite.
Yeah, so he's getting how much royalties because you played that just now?
Hopefully all of them.
That's why you don't mention the second mansion. You owe that to him for playing that song.
You can have it. I got a place to live.
Is it next to my box?
It can be. It's Lego, dude. I can move it around.
Oh, shoot. So let's go to Norway and we could actually do that and we could talk about music for the rest of our lives.
Norway, some black metal. That's something I'm working on, but it's not an official thing yet.
So, sorry, you're a fan of Burzum?
I wouldn't say a fan,
But
I
you know
their
who I'm
stuff.
talking about.
Yeah, I know Burzum.
Oh, and Norwegian, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you,
Burzum.
do you know his personal,
Yeah, I know. That's why I say I'm not a fan.
Yeah, but you were there with him, burning down the churches and all.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. That screeching noise, that squeezy noise that's coming from one of my pedals. All I can do is unplug it and plug it back in. It's fine. Actually, I'll do that.
That's Jacob's story, and he's sticking to it. All right.
There we
So,
go.
meanwhile, we have at least 9 minutes. The rest can be yours, or you tell me how you want to do it.
Well, I'll do a beatbox metal song from the Beatbox Metal EP. Hi, how you doing? I can see people through the window.
That's just only one of like 12 groupies you have in there.
I don't have any groupies. I don't know what is needed to be a groupie.
Well, I do, no matter what you need, male, female, or otherwise. So anyway, I'm going to sign off. Actually,
Okay.
you end around 8:01, maybe 8:02. It's your call, and I'm done. When you're done, the show will fade out and it's over with.
Okay,
Deal?
I'll do 2 more songs. I'll do a beatbox metal one and one that's a lot more heartwarming.
And I don't have to talk. So once again, Beatbox Jakes. To see that I'm drunk. I don't know how to talk. 11 Mile Sessions Live. Thanks for listening. If you're here right now, if you don't, go to www.11milesessionslive.com, www.nrmstreamcast.com. By the time this guy gets home, he's going to be getting all the royalties. They'll be on all the different streaming channels. You can watch it anytime you want. Alan, what episode is this? Did you say 142 or 143? 143. So even 6 months from now, the only reason why it always doesn't look like that is because we got to keep updating our server to match all the other stuff. You think I'm joking, don't you?
No, I assume you're not.
That's the first serious thing I've said all along.
Oh my God.
I'm a fake, by the way. So anyway, without further ado, once again, I'm going to sign off. Tune in next week. And now for something completely different. Yeah, okay.
Hey, thank you everybody for watching 11 Mile Sessions. My name is Beatbox Jake. I got one more for you. Make sure you tell any artists you know to reach out to 11 Mile Sessions. Don't spam them. Don't send them hundreds and hundreds of emails. Don't do that. But reach out, because this is a cool show and they're cool people and they're nice and they're not mean or anything like that. But this song, oh God, wrong setting. This next song is called Forever and Always. And it's sort of inspired by some of the messages of Mr. Rogers. Not entirely. It was more, I didn't realize until after the song was written that it was sort of in line with his morals and his line of thinking. But I want you to keep. This is a celebration of relationships of all types. So I want you to keep anybody in mind that is important to you, whether it's a child, a pet, best friend, parent, anything, girlfriend, whatever. Wife, husband, keep them in mind. This is called Forever and Always. This is also on Dichotomy.